Module 2. Teaching and Learning in Developmentally Appropriate Programs. Child development follows an orderly sequence, which means that there are certain stages that children go through as they grow and learn. This sequence is important to understand because it helps us know what children are capable of at each stage and how we can best support their learning and development. For example, we know that infants need lots of physical experiences to develop their motor skills, while preschoolers are ready to start learning about letters and numbers. Another important principle is that children learn by play. Play is how children explore the world around them, test out new ideas, and develop important skills like problem solving and social interaction. That's why it's so important for programs to provide safe and secure environments where children can play and learn. And remember, children are active decision makers in their learning, so it's important to give them choices and let them take the lead in their play and exploration. In addition to play, children also need social interaction and reflection. This means opportunities to talk and interact with others and to think about and make sense of their experiences. And as children learn and grow, they need to be challenged and given opportunities to master new concepts. But it's important to remember that all children have different learning profiles, so what works for one child may not work for another. That's why it's important to provide a variety of experiences and activities and to be responsive to each child's individual needs and interests. Interpersonal learner, the individual. This learning style is all about learning through self-awareness and self-reflection. If you are an interpersonal learner, you learn best by working alone, pursuing your interests, and being aware of your inner moods, intentions, motivations, temperaments, and self-desires. So, what does this mean for you? It means that you need to take the time to understand yourself and how you learn best. You might find that you prefer to work alone rather than in groups, or that you enjoy pursuing your interests rather than following a set curriculum. You may also be more in tune with your inner thoughts and feelings, which can help you to better understand your strengths and weaknesses and how to improve your learning. Interpersonal learner, the socializer. As an interpersonal learner, you learn best when you're sharing, comparing, relating to others, and cooperating. That means that you enjoy working in groups, and you're most productive when you're able to bounce ideas off of others and collaborate. Logical mathematical learner, the questioner. This type of learner loves exploring patterns and relationships, working with numbers, and doing experiments. If you identify as a logical mathematical learner, you probably enjoy solving puzzles, playing strategy games, and analyzing data. You are also great at detecting inconsistencies and solving complex problems. To learn best, logical mathematical learners need to actively engage with the material. This means that you should be hands-on, trying things out, and testing your ideas. For example, you could try creating patterns with numbers or analyzing the results of an experiment to see what patterns emerge. You may also enjoy working on math problems or puzzles that challenge you to find new solutions. By actively engaging with the material, you will be able to build a deeper understanding of the concepts you are learning. Musical learner. A musical learner is someone who loves and learns best through music. As a musical learner, you have a natural inclination towards rhythm and melody. You may find it easy to pick up and remember things when they are presented to you in a musical format. You have a heightened sensitivity to sound and are often moved by the emotional quality of music. Whether you are listening to music, playing an instrument, or singing, you are happiest when you are surrounded by music. As a child, you can benefit greatly from being a musical learner. You can use music to help you learn all kinds of things. For example, you can use songs to memorize multiplication tables or to learn the order of the planets in the solar system. You can also use music to help you focus and concentrate. When you listen to music, your brain releases dopamine, which can help you feel more motivated and focused. And when you make music, you are using both sides of your brain, which can help improve your overall cognitive function. So, if you are a musical learner, embrace your love of music and use it to help you learn and grow. General teaching strategies. Scaffolding is a teaching strategy that involves providing background knowledge and gradually removing extra support as children learn. This strategy allows children to build on their prior knowledge and work towards more complex concepts. For example, when teaching a new math concept, the teacher might start by providing concrete examples and then gradually move towards more abstract concepts. This strategy is particularly effective for children who may be struggling with a particular subject, as it helps to break down complex ideas into smaller, more manageable steps. Guided practice and repetition is another effective teaching strategy that involves working with children through repetition. This strategy is particularly helpful for mastering skills that require practice, such as reading or math. For example, a teacher might work with a student on reading fluency by reading aloud with them and then gradually having them read more independently. Through repetition, children can develop automaticity and mastery of a particular skill. The teacher might also provide feedback and support along the way, helping children to stay on track and make progress. By using these strategies in the classroom, teachers can help children to become more confident learners and achieve their full potential. Cycle of learning. Learning is a process that never stops, and it's important to understand how it works so that we can be successful in our studies. The cycle of learning describes the process where children move from initial awareness of something to gaining new knowledge and skills that they apply on their own. Going through the cycle may take days, months, or even years, depending on the circumstances. The cycle of learning has 5 phases: awareness, exploration, acquisition, practice, and generalization. 1. The first phase, awareness, is all about becoming aware that something exists and is worth knowing about. For example, if you're learning about a new subject, you need to become aware of what that subject is and why it's important to study it. 2. Next, we move into the exploration phase. This is a time of self-discovery and occurs as you spontaneously manipulate objects and engage in informal interactions with your peers and teachers. It's important to explore and experiment with new ideas and concepts, as this helps you to better understand and internalize what you're learning. 3. The third phase, acquisition, is when your teachers tune in to your learning needs and help you to acquire new knowledge and skills. This might involve lectures, group discussions, or hands-on activities. 4. Once you've acquired new information, we move into the practice phase, where you use your new knowledge or skills repeatedly in a variety of circumstances. 5. Finally, we reach the generalization phase, where you apply what you've learned in many ways and adjust our thinking to fit new circumstances or demands. This is where you see the benefits of your learning, as you're able to use your new knowledge and skills in real-world situations. Effective/ineffective praise. Ineffective praise is praise that is too general or lacks specificity, which doesn't give the student a clear understanding of what they did well or what specifically they can improve on. For instance, saying good job or nice work to Jack after reading his first chapter book may not give him a clear idea of what he did well or how he can improve. This type of praise does not acknowledge the effort, specific actions, or improvement of the student, and thus, it might not help boost their motivation and self-esteem. Effective praise, on the other hand, is specific and acknowledges the effort, improvement, or specific actions that the student took to achieve success. For instance, if you say to Jack, "You worked hard to get through all the chapters. This fall you were reading picture books, and now you are reading chapter books too," you are giving him specific feedback that acknowledges his effort, improvement, and progress. By doing so, he can see how his hard work and effort paid off and can feel proud of himself. He will also be motivated to continue to improve and learn more. To encourage effective praise among students, teachers can model specific and meaningful praise in the classroom. They can also encourage students to give each other specific and meaningful feedback on their work, which will help them to develop their skills in giving effective praise. In conclusion, effective praise can boost a student's motivation and self-esteem, while ineffective praise may not be as helpful in supporting their learning and growth. Teaching in the zone of proximal development. The ZPD is the difference between what you can do on your own and what you can do with the help of someone else, like a peer or an adult mentor. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are trying to solve a math problem. If you can solve it all by yourself, that's great. But if you get stuck and someone helps you figure out the next step, that's the ZPD. With their help, you can do something that you couldn't do on your own. The ZPD is important because it helps us learn and grow. When we work with someone who knows more than we do, we can stretch our abilities and improve our skills. So, remember that the ZPD is all about what you can do with the help of others. It's not just about what you can do alone. By working in the ZPD, you can challenge yourself and make progress in your learning. So don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, and be willing to work with others to achieve your goals. Early childhood expectations/standards. Early childhood expectations/standards are guidelines that describe what children might be reasonably expected to know and do at different ages or in different grades. These standards are important because they help teachers, parents, and caregivers understand what children should be learning and achieving during their early years. So, who develops these standards? Generally, state departments of education, professional societies, school districts, and early childhood programs work together to create the standards. State departments of education usually provide the broadest guidance for early childhood education standards, while professional societies and early childhood programs focus on specific areas such as language development or social-emotional learning. School districts also play a role in developing early childhood standards by incorporating state and national standards into their curriculum. You need to know about early childhood expectations/standards because it helps you understand what you're supposed to be learning and achieving during your early years. It also helps parents and caregivers understand how to support their child's learning and development. Remember, these standards are developed by experts in the field, so they provide a good framework for what children should know and be able to do at different ages. By understanding these standards, students can work towards meeting them and preparing for future academic success.